Hey everyone, today we are going to take a look at the Arteza Classic Pastel Colors Colored Pencils. So these popped up at the same time Arteza released a set of 50 metallics. I grabbed the 50 pastels just because I love pastel colored pencils. So on the back, you can see here they outline, they have 3 series, Classic, Premium, and Pro Series. I think Pro Series used to be what was Expert. Don't quote me on that though. I am going to just cut this little thing here. And then you do have the numbers on the back. So what we're going to do is we're going to unbox them and see how these things look. Ooh, look at that. It just folds outward. Nice. And it looks like these. Okay, and then these fold outward this way. Well, that's getting kind of awkward. So now we're this way. Okay. But yeah, we will take a look at these, swatch them, and then we'll color with them. And then I'll also compare them to some other pastel sets I have. And then also kind of take a look at how they compare to what's in the traditional. Now, the traditional ones I have were originally called Expert. I think they say Pro on them now. I don't know. They keep changing it up over at Arteza. So the original ones I have are round. This is triangular. So I'm very curious to see if these are going to be as soft as the round ones. I will say there is a chemical smell, but it's not like super overbearing. So here are the colors that we have. I'm thinking this would be the more logical way to order these. So yeah, if you do have a triangular pencil, you can sharpen it really anyway. I use my AF mat and we'll sharpen one just to see. I know it's loud, but here you go. So yeah, it sharpens just fine in the AF mat. I think some Jar Link and other models will fit it as well. So let me get a swatch chart and I will swatch these for you guys with some relaxing music, and then we will meet up from there. Okay, so overall, these aren't too bad to use. They were quite smooth. I had a few scratchy ones here and there, but I mean, you can even get a scratchy pencil with a Prismacolor, so it wasn't anything like bad. They are definitely waxy, like you can feel that filler in them, but the colors are still nice, and you don't expect them to be super vibrant anyways because, well, it's a pastel set. So all 50 colors, I immediately get the vibe of other brands I have seen, but there are some that feel a little more unique, so that's good. I did notice we get a pretty good selection of purples, blues, and we even have another like rose kind of color, but I'm gonna pull out other pastel sets I have so we can kind of do a little comparison and I can show you what I mean. Okay, so we have the Astra Pastel Low. It's one of the first pastel sets I bought outside of Holbein's. I had bought Holbein's, which came with pastels. This is my comparison sheet comparing the Pastel Low to the Holbein. So as you can see, they're quite similar. I have a video already made for that, which you can find on my channel. So this had a few darker colors, like the mustard olive green and this leaf green. Which you're not really getting too close here. I mean, this one's a little olivey, but not as much as that. This green here is a little brighter, and we definitely don't have a dark green. Now, some of these other colors are in here, but like ones that stand out kind of unique in comparison. And it's going to be hard to the naked eye, I know, because we all see colors so differently. But like I am seeing this peachy color matches up with like this pink here. This coral is matching up right here. This salmon pink, I would say, is more like apricot. So we have that, but like their rose gray is fairly close to, I would say, this A422, while their pinks is where I think we get a little different. Ash rose, yeah, somewhat close to this one. So you have a few, at least when we're comparing the Holbeins and Pastel Lows. So let's look at another set. Okay, so we have the Brut Fruner Macaroon sets. Now this again is also very similar to the Holbeins. In fact, they use the same names as the Holbeins, except misspelled in a few places. Like Aller yellow. Yeah, that's not my typo. That's what's on the pencil. So I found that rather humorous. Now these are a little bit more bright, I would say, or they look that way, but they're the same as those Holbein colors. So again, you have like that mustardy one, but it's pretty close right here. Now this willow green, I would say, is something that's, oh no, willow green right there. Pretty close. Let's see if we can look at these like skin tone style ones. Yeah, so A134 matches the shell pink pretty easily. This one is matching cherry blossom. So again, it's looking like we have a lot of overlap in that set, but we're not done. We have more to compare as well. Now we have the Indra. So Indra is another one I really enjoy. They do not have names or numbers. I numbered them myself with a Sharpie, and that was forever their name. But again, we've got overlap. Like those ones are pretty close to one another. Those two are pretty close to another. That pink's just a little bit lighter up there. Let's see. You know, in the orange colors, this one, never mind, matches right there. So this one would be a little bit more unique. So there's some that are just a few shades off. Purple wise, yeah, it's about, honestly, about the same in purples, maybe except for that one. But these two are still close enough. So that's the problem with pastels. You can only make so many. And then last but not least, we have the Castle Art Pastel Tint. I actually like these ones. I did feel like there was a few unique shades, sort of. But yeah, you know, comparing apples to apples again, we've got one that looks just like Orchid White here. That color is pretty close to Snow Waffle, which, by the way, I just love that name. Peach Cream, got a match there. Pearl, got a match there. Got a match with Inca Gold. Juniper Lime right there. Yeah, I mean, even, okay, Lime Coral. So there's not a big difference here to show you kind of like, you know, oh, you're going to get some new colors. I've just shown you several other sets and there's tons of overlap. So what would you do in this situation? You know, these just came out, so they're a little higher priced at the moment. I will leave a link in the description below. Click that and see what the price is now. Prices fluctuate on Amazon. That said, the pastel tints are still incredibly high and you only get 48. So if you were to, you know, try and go between the sets, I would say don't bother with the pastel tint because these are way overpriced and the Arteza are cheaper. So we've narrowed down one. Indra macaroon colors are probably one of the cheaper sets and I like them, but again, no numbering system, no names, so they are a little bit more difficult. So I would actually rather get this than those. Now the Astra Pastello and Holbeins, well, I'm not a big fan of Holbein and their pastel set is very expensive. So if you're on a budget, again, you would want to switch this way. Pastello is cheap and matches up almost exactly to those, but the problem is you can only get them from Poland. So they are cheap, but it's just kind of a issue of getting them. And none of these, by the way, are open stock except the Holbeins. Now the Brutfuner macaroons, I actually am not a big fan of them. They are on Amazon now here in the US. But again, I actually have a big pet peeve with the fact that they copied the names exactly to the Holbein. And I'm not defending the Holbein because I don't like the Holbein, but I just didn't like that. I mean, like I said, you can only make so many pastel colors, so you're going to have tons of overlap. So if you already have one of those other pastel sets, I wouldn't bother. But if this is like your first go and you need, or want, I should say, a pastel colored pencil set, it's affordable, it's available, that would be a good way to go about it. So that's just my opinion on the Arteza Pastel Colored Pencils. I will be coloring a page on camera, so keep an eye out for that video next. But thank you all for hanging out, and until next time, take care.